Welcome or welcome back. Today I hope you will join me as I do a trial run on the blueberry lemon bread. This is my first time making the bread, so whatever the results, let's hope we learn together. Let's begin. We will be starting with our dry ingredients bowl. To the bowl we're going to be adding 320 grams of unbleached all-purpose flour. Next I'm going to be adding just a pinch of instant yeast. The recipe does call for 6 grams or a quarter teaspoon of instant yeast. That's optional. Next we will be adding 8 grams or half a teaspoon of salt. Next we will be adding 1 1/4 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. So let's just go ahead and get this all stirred together really well. And then we will move on to our wet ingredients bowl. So the next thing we want to do is get our wet ingredients bowl ready. And so to begin, we're going to add 165 grams of warm water. The next thing we want to add is 80 grams of active sourdough starter. Next I will be adding 10 grams of oil. And then I'm going to get the dry ingredients bowl and we'll get this all mixed together. So we will be stirring this as much as we can with our silicone spatula. And then I will be switching over to gloved hands and getting it mixed the rest of the way. Almost there. So I'm just going to put my gloves on now. Continue mixing the dough so we can bring it all together. And I'm going to bring it out onto the work surface now. Just let me wipe this off first. And I'm just going to continue on kneading. And I'll be back after 5 minutes once I've got the dough brought together. So I'm coming to the end of the 5 minutes of kneading now. Just going to place it in our bowl right here. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we'll be back. So we're back. So now it's the fun part where we're going to stretch our dough to a nice little rectangle. So I've sprinkled my work surface with flour. Just gonna press and stretch out our dough now into a rectangle. Okay, almost there, still trying to get that nice little rectangle shape. So this is the part today that we're going to be adding our inclusions or our additions. And of course that's going to be the lemon zest and the blueberries. We will be using dried berries and fresh blueberries today. From the research I've done, it seems to indicate that you can add both. So we're going to try that and see how it goes. Let's sprinkle our lemon zest now. So this is the zest of one whole lemon. And that looks pretty good there. I'm just going to press it into the dough a little bit. Again, my first time doing this, so cross your fingers for luck. Now I'm going to grab the sun-dried blueberries first. I'm going to press those in a little bit as well. So press these in. There we go. We're going to fold one side of the dough over now halfway. I'm going to sprinkle in some more lemon zest here. Then I'm just going to grab the fresh blueberries from the fridge. And we'll add those in as well. Okay, let's sprinkle them in as evenly as we can. There we go. Again, we're learning together, not really sure how to put this in here or how many. And I think this is a little bit more fun. I hope you're enjoying it because it's easy to make an episode where everything goes perfect from beginning to end, but that's not reality. And I really want you all to be encouraged to give these things a try. No matter how they turn out, they're usually quite tasty and edible. I've never had anything that I've actually had to throw out, so why not? Okay, let's fold the other side over. Stretch it as evenly as we can over our berries here. And we're going to be very gentle with this now. And we're going to fold it up on one side. And if anything sticks, that's what your bench scraper's for here. Perfect. Just going to flip it over very gently. Just round it very slightly. We're going to let it rest again. And we'll come back and do the final shape and get it into our loaf pan. I'm going to cover it now. So we're back. Our dough has rested. We're going to do our final shaping now. Just going to grab the loaf. We're just going to do a very gentle rounding on this, not too much. I don't want any of the fruit to break through the top of the dough. And today we are going to be baking this in a loaf pan because we wanted a nice sandwich style loaf with our blueberry lemon option. I am going to grease the loaf pan today. It's pretty seasoned, it's usually non-stick, but I just want just an extra layer of insurance. Just because blueberries might stick otherwise. They pop through the dough or anything. We certainly wouldn't want to come all this way and then have the dough get stuck in there and not be able to get it out. So I'm covering our loaf with a disposable shower cap today. I only use these if I'm doing a fruit inclusion loaf, as the berries can stain your tea towels. So I'm just going to put this aside, let it rise, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's ready to go into the oven. So our loaf has been rising for 2 hours. It's not quite as high as I want it to be. I'm just going to recover it and let it rest for a little bit more, and we'll be back. So our oven is preheated. Our loaf is risen just above the pan where we want it. I hope you can see that. And we're going to get ready to put it in the oven. And it's going to bake for 35 minutes. Our loaf is done. I've buttered the top. We're going to let it cool completely. And hopefully Mr. Ace will be home by then and help us do a taste test. Okay, here we are doing the reveal I promised. I'm afraid, guys. Ooh. Blueberries. Oh yes, okay. So, Mr. Ace, if you don't mind taking a bite and letting us know what you think.
Sure. Okay, that
Can you
is
taste
good.
any lemon or?
I can taste the lemon, I can taste the blueberry. But I can see we need a little bit more blueberry in there.
Next time, yeah. Okay, so we're going to call that a success. Until next time, everyone.